All glories to the Asamaturatis. All glories to the Asamaturatis. All glories to the Asamaturatis. All glories to Shri Guru. Makam karati vakshalam bhagam lankete yakaitamam bande sirutintarinam Om Agyanam Timiratasya Gyananjara Shrakaya Chakshurmiritam Yena Tasavai Shiravedam. I'd like to welcome you to the first day of our seminar on prayers of Shukadev Goswami for empowerment. So, in this seminar we'll learn from Shukadev how to systematically remember Krishna so we can become empowered to act for him. And we'll learn how to be an instrument for the pleasure of Krishna. So, Shukadev, he's a speaker of Srimad Bhagavatam. But before he spoke Bhagavatam, he offered these prayers just so he could become qualified. Shukadev, he felt himself completely unqualified to speak. Just like, not just like, but we very much feel unqualified to speak. So therefore, we have to learn from Shukadev. It's not only talking about speaking. Any kind of service you do for Krishna, you need to be empowered. You need Krishna's mercy. You need Krishna's power to do that service. So as soon as Shukadev understood he had to speak Bhagavatam, then the first thing he did was to offer prayers. Ask the Lord for his blessings. So he was asked to do the service. He came, of course he volunteered. He came to Maharaj Parikshit and he volunteered to speak Bhagavatam. When Parikshit asked, what should I do now? I'm going to die in 7 days. And so Shukadev was given that service. So what was his attitude, what was his mood to do this service? This is what we must learn so that we can do our service in the same mood. Actually, this reminds me of one thing that happened to me when Srila Prabhupada was here. I was doing Mangalarti. I was the pujari in Calcutta Temple in the 1970s. So one time I was doing Mangalarti and I turned around to offer the ghee to the devotees, and Prabhupada was standing right behind me, maybe 6 inches. There was no division between the deities and the temple. Now there is, but in those days it was just like a chain. And there he was, and I didn't know, should I just offer him the ghee? Should I do a puja or know what to do? Srila Prabhupada, spiritual master of the universe. And so I think I did quickly puja, and I offered him the ghee lamp. And then the whole arti, he was standing right behind me watching me. And I was feeling very nervous, but at the same time very alert, not to do any mistakes, and trying to concentrate because, you know, you feel like he can read your mind, whatever you're thinking. So I was trying to be as much devotional as I could. But then after that experience, I thought, well, you know, I should do all my service like that. Like Prabhupada's watching me, what I'm doing. And so Prabhupada's watching us. We need his blessings. Krishna is watching us. We need Panchatattva's blessings. So how to get the blessings? How does an instrument, how do we open ourselves up to receive the mercy coming from Krishna? So Prabhupada explains in the purport how that first of all, there are different points. This is point number 1, that the instrument, the devotee thinks, I cannot do anything independently of Krishna. Sometimes in my service, people say, you know, why don't you, sometimes people are obstructing your service. They say, why don't you just do it? You know, go independently of ISKCON, or just do it, you know, you have the qualification. And my reply to that is, if I do something independently of the disciplic succession, or Srila Prabhupada or ISKCON, then I will take the karma for that. And if I depend, maybe it will take more time. If I depend on devotees and ISKCON and Krishna, then I'll get the blessings of the Vaishnavas. And in case any karma is there, they'll get it, you know, they give me the blessings. So, yes, we don't think we can do anything independently. Not only independently of Krishna, independently of Guru, independently of ISKCON. So this is the first point. To be an instrument, we are... Now, why does the devotee think like that? Because the senses which we have, our eyes, our hands, our tongue, they don't belong to us. Well, if they don't belong to us, who do they belong to? And that is Krishna. And that means it's under the direction of Krishna, our senses. Because, you know, you think it's your ear, but, you know, one day, somehow, in the middle of the day, I lost the hearing in one ear. So it means it's not my ear, otherwise I could control it. If I could control it, then I could say, okay, here. No, it's just gone. So it's not our senses. So therefore, especially as we get older, we have to try to use all our senses for the pleasure of Krishna. Otherwise, any day they could be taken away. Your shoulder could get frozen, your foot could, anything could happen. So therefore we should be dependent on Krishna and also realize why we don't do anything blindly, but everything is based on logic. So if we are dependent on Krishna, that means, point number 3 in the purport, Prabhupada says one should always seek permission of the Lord to act or eat or speak. Isn't that interesting? How many of us ask permission before we eat, or before we speak, or before we act? This is a really interesting point Prabhupada makes here in the purport. Seek permission of the Lord. Just like Srila Prabhupada, when he first came to America, Boston, he wrote some beautiful prayers to the Lord for empowerment. Please, I see these people, they are hopeless, they are very fallen in the modes of ignorance and passion. I don't know how they will be able to understand this message, but you can make my power of speaking suitable so they can understand. And by your causeless mercy, my words will become pure. So Srila Prabhupada often he would say, I will go tomorrow to this place, Krishna willing. Krishna willing, I will go. When he was sick, the prayer that we had to pray in 1974, my dear Lord Krishna, if you so desire, please cure Srila Prabhupada. That was the prayer we were given. The prayer was not, okay Krishna, please cure Prabhupada. If you so desire, please cure Srila Prabhupada. So, how much do we actually think of Krishna during our day? What I want to do is I'm going to give you a little homework, nothing to write, but something so you won't forget what we were talking about here in the class. So tomorrow I would like you to think of Krishna during your day, and here's an idea how to do that. One idea we got from Srila Prabhupada, ask permission before you do anything. Prabhupada said before you act, before you speak, before you eat, ask permission. Another thing you can do, I have an idea here from my godbrother Kanamrita. He says, I pause before any activity and I offer it to Krishna. And he goes really into it, like before he brushes his teeth, okay, I'm brushing my teeth for your pleasure, I'm taking my shower, it's not my body, you know, it's yours, so I'm cleaning your body, this instrument for you, so please, I offer this shower to you. When you get up in the morning, you can offer the day to Krishna. I'm offering this day to you. So I would like you to try to do this tomorrow as a little homework. Try to either seek permission or offer it to Krishna. Now, Nishujan Maharaj, my godbrother, before doing anything, he would ask himself, is this the instruction of Srila Prabhupada? So before he would eat, he would think, okay, Prabhupada said, half full with food, quarter full with water, quarter full with air, and then he would eat according to that. Before he would sleep, Prabhupada said, okay, 6 hours, no more, so then he would sleep 6 hours. Before he did anything, then he would think, what is Prabhupada's instruction? So this is, we do have 2 homework questions, and this is your first one, in case you would rather do the second one. It's coming up, but this is the first one. So, any other ideas? I gave you a couple of ideas. How can we think of Krishna during our day, in this as an instrument? Any other ideas? What we can do? And if you don't have any more ideas, yes?
As I heard from my Guru Maharaj, everything we do early in the morning and last before you are sleeping, stay on consciousness. So
okay.
We can begin, he taught us that you can, when you go down in the morning, when you wake up, so you can tell, my dear Lord, I offer everything I do with my body, mind, intellect, and pure consciousness to give you pleasure.
Okay, can everybody hear that? No. Okay, so she said her spiritual masters told that when you first wake up in the morning, you should bow down. After you bow down, offer a prayer. I offer everything I do with body, mind, and words for your pleasure, Lord. Because in the morning it's easier, the first thing, and in the evening before you sleep, then it will help you the next morning. Yes?
Just to tweak that a little bit.
Good.
As Prabhupada once said, I've heard, that I don't know Krishna,
right,
but I know my spiritual master.
Great, great.
So, therefore, when we get up in the morning, the first thing we do is we offer obeisances to our Guru.
Right.
We offer this day to you.
Okay.
So,
well,
like, same thing, but
we'll tweak the homework also. You can offer everything to your Guru. Guru or Krishna, of course. Guru is probably easier because he's closer to us in this time frame. Although Krishna is, of course, Guru is in the heart too, in that sense. Guru and Krishna are both in the heart. Thank you for that. Yes?
And one thing is to remember that this is a service. So my spiritual master, before I took the initiation, he asked, can I do some service? And I said, probably not, I don't have so much time. And then he said, do you chant your rounds every day? And I said, yes. So chant them for me. So when I do that, I don't know, when I can remember, I don't just chant to purify and to remember Krishna, but because he asked me to do it as a service, then I can pray for help to do my service.
Great. Okay. You chant for your spiritual master's pleasure, or because he asked you to.
Yeah, as a service.
Yeah, it's easier if you're chanting for someone else, as this young lady was saying yesterday, that, you know, if you just do for yourself, then you know, like people, like ladies, they're alone. They don't feel like cooking for themselves. You know, if there's somebody there, then they feel like cooking. So, you know, chanting may be like that too. That you don't feel like chanting for yourself, and you want to chant for somebody. That's wonderful. Okay, great. So let's go on to the verses I gave you. Verse 12. We only have an hour, so let's see how this goes. I will say one line. You can repeat after me. Nama Parasmai Purushaya Bhuyase. Nama Parasmai Purushaya Bhuyase. Sarupavastana Nirota Vilaya. Sarupavastana Nirota Vilaya. Grihita Shakti Chitayaya Dehinam. Grihita Shakti Chitayaya Dehinam. Antarbhavaya Nupalaksha Vartmane. Antarbhavaya Shukadeva Goswami said, let me offer my respectful obeisances unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who for the creation of the material world accepts the 3 modes of nature. He is a complete whole, residing within the body of everyone, and his ways are inconceivable. So, 3 ways we see the Lord here, that he is without, he is without us, he is also within us, and he's also the complete whole. That is Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan, all 3 together. So we have, in order to understand our position as servant, we have to appreciate Krishna's position, that he's everywhere, and he's also in our heart, localized, and he's also at the same time in Goloka, Vrindavan. So verse 13 you do not have, but I do have. And so I will just read it for you. I offer my obeisances unto the form of complete existence and transcendence, liberator of the pious devotees from all distresses, destroyer of the advances in atheistic temperament of the non-devotees. For the transcendentalists and the topmost spiritual perfection, he grants their specific destination. So, here it is showing how Krishna is reciprocating with different kinds of people. With the atheists, he destroys their demonic mentality. The devotees, he protects them from distresses. And for the Paramahansas, he gives them their supreme destination. So this is very confidential knowledge that Krishna does reciprocate with our devotion. So, here in the purport, Prabhupada says Krishna removes our distresses. How else does Krishna reciprocate with us? This is actually your second homework question. To look tomorrow, and this is a two-part question, and the first part is, how does Krishna reciprocate with us? Or we can tweak it and say, how does our Guru Maharaj reciprocate with us? So either you'll be thinking of Krishna, your Guru Maharaj, of course they're inseparable, they're always together. So you can think, how are they reciprocating with me? How is he reciprocating with me? So who can give me some ideas? We heard how he removes our distresses. How else does Krishna reciprocate with us? Our Guru Maharaj reciprocate with us? Yes?
Sometimes, actually it was one time I asked some question from the Guru Maharaj directly.
Right.
And he told me, listen to Krishna.
Yes.
Okay.
Listen to Krishna.
Listen to Krishna. But how I can listen to Krishna?
Yeah.
Told the long story. But sometimes if a person, a devotee comes, tells you something.
Okay.
And then, and interesting, I exactly about my question. Day after, I just opened the daily reading of Bhagavatam. So when I opened, Prabhupada told me exact answer which I needed.
Good. Okay, if you want Krishna to reciprocate with you and the spiritual master, just open the book and read something. Hear something about Krishna, and your answers will come. Very good. One more idea, yes?
Sometimes you have question, only you know question, and Krishna knows question, but you get answer from other devotee or
Okay.
Without asking, they speak.
Okay, yes. Well, that always happens, even if you don't have a question. The devotees will help you a lot to improve your devotional service. Okay, yes? Yes?
By his loving attitude towards us, he puts us on place, and it's
Puts us in our place. Sometimes rough love, tough love.
It happens quite often.
Yes, for some of us it is that way. And also for some of us in different parts of our life. Sometimes we get sweetness and sometimes we get the thunderbolt. Yes.
Sometimes in our service, exactly what we need comes even when we're not looking for it. And sometimes I have this experience with some very strong desires. You get it for a little bit and then Krishna takes it away because he knows our more important real desires.
Good, good. Okay, so the first part of this question is look for the reciprocation. Now the second part of the question is, so now Krishna is reciprocating with us, how do we respond? How do we reciprocate when we get Krishna's reciprocation? That's the second part of this homework question. Okay, so you know, there's this word, responsive. We should become responsive devotionally. And also responsible. Like responsive means how we respond and are capable of responding. And responsible means like we are response plus able to respond. So when we see the deities, how do we respond? When we hear the kirtan, the beautiful kirtan, how do we respond? So when we see the reciprocation of Krishna, how do we respond to that? Do we just say, oh yeah, anyway, yes. All in a day, or actually, okay, let's have some ideas how to respond when we get the reciprocation of Krishna. You put it on Facebook and, all over the internet. Yeah, no, I had a dream last night. Some people do. Yeah, very interesting dreams we hear. But how do you respond? Yes, we do have our instant internet now. We can broadcast everything that happens. But actually, how can we respond? I guess that's a better question. When Krishna actually reciprocates with us. Yes?
I think that it's like driving a car on the road, like a personal road that Krishna was made for you. So you put up signs on the road.
Mm-hmm.
So, of course, when you put up the signs, the thing is that if you are aware, you react to the signs,
right,
according to the signs. But if you drive like unconsciously, you don't see the signs, you drive too fast, or you turn the wrong way.
Right.
So like when you see the signs, and if you're aware, well, you react to the signs because they're, when you're aware, they're very clear.
Okay, good. When you're aware of the signs coming from Krishna, sometimes we pray, please give me a sign. And often it comes automatically. And sometimes it takes time. But yes?
I try to cultivate attitude of gratitude.
Attitude, very good. Attitude of gratitude.
I see Krishna's hand in my life, I really say thank you. Like I really
okay.
to also teach my daughter that not taking things for granted and say
exactly.
thank you Krishna for giving us shelter. Just simple things.
So tomorrow we can all practice that response also of gratitude to Krishna. Because sometime one person said to me, you know, I don't see how Krishna is reciprocating. And I said, well, then you need to be grateful. Then you can see how he's reciprocating with you. Because he's reciprocating every second. Without his help, we couldn't breathe, we couldn't do anything. And so yes, if we're grateful, then it will help us to appreciate. We will be able to see how is Krishna reciprocating with us. Very good. So let's go to the next verse. You don't have it. I had to cut down with some verses, because I only 1 hour, but we will do our best. So I will just speak it for you. Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto him, who is associate of the members of the outer dynasty, who is always a problem for the non-devotees. He is the supreme enjoyer of both material and spiritual worlds, yet he enjoys his own abode in the spiritual sky. There is no one equal to him because his transcendental opulence is immeasurable. So Prabhupada in the purport says that the Lord and his residential abode will always remain a myth or a mysterious problem for the non-devotees. But for the devotees, he will remain an associate, a close friend. So what a difference in relationships. With the non-devotees, he's a mysterious problem. If God exists, well, that's really bad because I've been doing so much nonsense. They prefer not to have this idea that God exists. Srila Prabhupada also said the impersonalists, they would prefer that he's impersonal, and so that they would not have to face God with the things that they're doing. So here it talks about a mystery. What is the mystery of the Lord? There is a mystery of Krishna consciousness. There is a mystery of devotional service. What is that mystery? This is described in the Chaturshloki Bhagavatam, in the last verse, that what is the mystery? There's a big mystery. They don't understand why we do so many things, for Krishna, for the spiritual master. What is the mystery? The deepest, most confidential mystery in Krishna consciousness. You can say it in one word, or 2 or 3.